Greg Allman said, "My songs are wide awake dreams and wide awake nightmares." Greg's song Dreams has been in the repertoire from the band's very beginning, a haunting and beautiful song of existential dread and hope offered through Duane's just beautiful guitar solo. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
It reflected just about everything I loved about music, and it felt very familiar to me. And that's when I broke it down years later and studied it. You know, one way new music gets out there is it's adapting old forms. I would never have thought that. But Dreams was a blues based on a jazz. In some ways, the vamp is based on Miles Davis does all blues, and it's a ballad. It's got all of these different elements, and it was haunting, and it was beautiful, and it was scary, and it had slide guitar, which from back in the 80s when I heard Muddy Waters doing it went nuts. It was almost as if at 22 years old, God said, "Hey, I'm going to let you listen to this, and this is going to be what you're going to be obsessed with the rest of your." So Greg Allman brings in a song called Dreams in essentially 4/4 time. And somehow the band decides they want to change it to waltz time, which is 6/8. And they're listening to this album by Miles Davis, and really this song all is blues. And so this gives the vibe that they want. I'm going to play that first, and I'm going to play the Allman version. Just for a second. All right. Flowing with it. Now, here's kind of how the Allman Brothers adapt the form, the feel. And by the way, Jamo's drums, which are going to be panned, I think, left, he's literally doing the drum lick from All Blues.
The one thing is the lyrics just slay me. I'm just now beginning to realize what he's singing about in terms of life and life experiences, you know. Much of this song is basically a two-chord vamp, and Barry's otherworldly. This is basically one long bass solo for Barry Oakley, if you ask me.
And I have to say, Bob, I think he's the finest bass player that ever lived.
But the fact of the matter is, we have basically one true bass solo from Barry Oakley, which is during all these versions of Mountain.